Man, this has second channel video written all over it. Anyone who follows me on Twitter will know I'd mix myself a drink or two. It's a Saturday night. I am at home watching a bit of TV, and I thought, you know what, I have been building up for a while for a really strong rant about fuckhead commenters on YouTube. Now, of course, anyone who's online anywhere will know that fuckheads exist, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, blogs, any forum, anywhere is full of fuckwits. YouTube, my chosen forum, is one of the worst examples on the internet. And for me, my personal pet hate is the people who fixate on, you just abuse everyone who disagrees with you. I wonder, I'm so fucking hammered, I'm sitting here, I wonder if the audio recorder is picking up. I'm farting almost constantly while I'm talking. Man, I've got to take a drunk crap at some point, I think. I don't know if you've ever done that. That's a fucking challenge. In fact, in my deep dark past, in my misspent youth, when I experimented with the drug, yeah, I did an acid dump once. Actually taking a shit, a really serious shit, when you are off your head on acid is quite the experience. Now, I'm not recommending anyone takes drugs. In fact, I personally haven't done it for 16 years. That was just a choice I made when my daughter was born, which is weird because alcohol is no different. Alcohol just happens to be legal, but you're no more in charge of your facilities on alcohol than you are on the drug. But yet societal pressures say the drug is the bad and the alcohol is the acceptable. So what the hey. But yeah, I will just say, having to take a massive dump when you're off your head on acid is quite the experience. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It is simply an experience, because those bodily functions that you don't have complete control over, when your perceptions are altered, are really a little bit weird. This is definitely shaping up as the second channel video. I thought I might go on the rant. I have actually written most of a rant about fuckheads. Say, why do you abuse everyone who disagrees with you? I had, well, essentially a slow day at work. I was waiting for someone else to come back to me, and I had time to write some stuff, and that was one day, and I've not had a slow day since then. I keep meaning to email it to myself from work, but it's full of swears, and the work email system usually has filters to stop you sending emails full of swears, so I'm not 100% sure how to send it to myself at home. So I can finish writing it and make it like a blog post, and then have it as the basis of a script for a video. Because the essential summary of why do you abuse people who disagree with you is, I don't. I disagree with people who disagree with me. I abuse people who are fuckheads. And the funny thing is, in this little world, this little domain I have, this tiny thing I have control of, my YouTube channel, and by extension my Twitter feed, my Facebook feed, the arbiter of what is fucked and what is acceptable is me. Because that is the only way to stay sane. I have said this, I don't know how many times in videos, but it blows my mind when commenters on YouTube videos appear to assume that they can dictate to me what I do and say, when in the same comment thread on the same video will be someone saying the complete opposite to them. What they say more of, someone else will say less of. What they say, I hate it when you, someone else will say, I love it when you. And they seriously do not seem to understand that their little point of view, if I'm going to stay sane, has to be meaningless to me. I do read comments. I am aware of all comments. There are times when I respond and there are times when I do not. There are times when I block, there are times when I abuse. Because these are just all coping strategies. Because the internet is fucked. People on YouTube are fucked. It takes an enormous amount of intellectual and emotional energy to create content for YouTube. And there is a chunk of YouTube commenters who suck that emotional and intellectual energy away. The majority of commenters are fucking fantastic. The majority of people who I interact with on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on any online forum are fucking awesome and make me feel good, and I hope I make them feel good, because it's an increase in the human spirit. But there are simply these people who, AZ has coined the term for me that I've always used, bubble people. There is like a bubble that extends, you know, a few centimetres past their fucking face, and they are convinced that is all that exists in the world. They are convinced that the world is all about them and their interactions with other, and it seems like it's impossible for them to grasp that beyond them is a big old world that does not give shit one about them. And I assume it just scares them, and they're pathetic, frightened, scared little children, and they can't go on thinking that maybe the world doesn't revolve around them. I don't know. So this has not turned into the rant that I thought it would be. It has turned into a little bit of rumination, but it's like a foreshadowing. I am most definitely planning a really fucking angry spray rant about just the really stupid people with this massively overdeveloped sense of entitlement that I think everything's about them. And I am also going to try to explain to the people who are maybe at least vaguely reasonable, and why I cannot take them into account when I make videos. Why I don't give a shit if they're upset that I tell them they're a fuckwit when they come in. Here's the thing. If you disagree with me when I say something, my recommendation to you is to shut the fuck up. When I see people post things on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube that I really disagree with, I don't go in and say, geez, you're fucked in the head. I do think it. I really do think it, but I let it go. In extreme cases, I may unfriend them on Facebook, unfollow them on Twitter, block them or whatever, so I don't see the stuff they do that offends me. But I never tell them they need to change to suit me, because I think that's stupid. Choose who you interact with. Don't dictate to others how they behave. Express your own point of view and let it go on. I know there's a whole bunch of inherent, you could argue there are a whole bunch of inherent contradictions in that. When I am slightly more lucid, I might try and explain myself better. These lights are hot. It is quite a hot evening here in Melbourne. I think that will do for now. I hope you've enjoyed this little communique between us, and I'll see you again soon.